Hi guys, it's Winter here. Merry Christmas! The last time that I made a video, I made a poll with the video to create the content for it. And I did the same for this video. So you guys got back to me and what you decided was the worst or funniest Christmas incident, and I will do one of both. I'll start off the worst. So we can end on a high note. My worst Christmas experience was one of the last years, or to give you guys a bit of context, my grandmother every year would host the family Christmas party at her house. And since my grandparents have a pretty big family, there are a lot of people shoved into this very, very little house. And one tradition we have every year is that everyone brings a Scrooge Christmas gift. One for a boy and one for a girl. I know it's super sexist, but it really sucked when you were a girl and you got tools, or if you were a guy and got, I don't know, a blanket. I don't know. So what my grandmother would do is she had these popsicle sticks, about yay big, that she would just keep every year for us to use. They were listed 1 through, I think we had it to 70, because I think we used most of them. So I think the year I'm talking about, I had a decently low number, which sucks because if you have a low number, it means you pick first. And when you get to a higher number in the list, if you run out of presents, you steal from other people. And then if your present gets stolen, you can go steal another one, and it just kind of keeps circling around. Hopefully there's usually enough gifts for everyone. I can't think of a year in my experience where we didn't have enough, but anyways. So I had a low number, and the gift that I picked was a super soft blanket. It was huge. I don't know how the hell they got it into this box. It was 2 times the size of me. I think it was 12. Yeah, it was probably 12. So I haven't grown much since I was 12. This blanket was huge. It was super soft. It had 2 different fuzzinesses on either side. And then my Aunt Kathy, who is my grandmother's sister, younger sister, stole it from me. So what did I end up getting that year? I think I got a vase. It was such a pretty vase that my mom immediately stole it from me, and I'm like, you already had a gift. But to be honest, I still don't really like the vase that much. It's the size of my torso, and it's about yay big, and it's mostly red, but it's got 4 different points. It's got these clear ovals. They're chilling in it. I don't think my mom's ever used it for anything other than being decorative, but it's not my best Scrooge Christmas. And I know it's not really a bad experience, but to be honest, I don't really have bad experiences at Christmas, which is good. The only other thing I could think of was, my dad's a long haul transport truck driver. He usually, it's not so much the case right now because of the California fires, but he usually runs Ferrero Rocher out of here in Canada to California. And then he'll usually have some sort of produce or office furniture load that he'll bring back here to Canada. Usually takes him about, I'm trying to think here, 11 days, I want to say. Yeah, it probably takes about 11 days. I know he used to run back and forth in a week, which was crazy. But that was when I was a lot younger and he wanted to spend more time with me. But one year for Christmas, I remember this vividly because this was still a year that my grandma was still running these big Christmas things, and we had to go, my mom and I had to go to my grandma's big Christmas thing without him because he was supposed to be home, and something happened on California end that his load got delayed. He didn't end up getting home until 6:15 Christmas morning. He just disregarded the load and just came straight home. I think he said he was doing 120 clicks. And there was a cop that was sitting there. But it was 4:00 in the morning on Christmas, and the guy was just go home, man. So those are probably my 2 worst experiences with Christmas. And I wasn't actually able to really think of like a funny one. Oh, actually, my grandmother every year has this huge cinnamon bun recipe. Like, it's a recipe that you can't even really have, because if you have it, you just screw up the recipe. But the thing is, one recipe makes 13 trays of cinnamon buns. So, in each tray, like, depending on what size of tray you have, you can have up to like 20 individual cinnamon buns in a tray. So obviously, my grandma would just make like 2 batches of them. 2 batches of like her family's cinnamon bun recipe, and then just like give them out at Christmas. Like, they are still one of the best things I've ever eaten. But to backtrack a bit on the funny story, I think it was grade 10 tech class. No, it wasn't tech class. What was it? It was like computer tech, whatever the hell it was. We were supposed to do a how-to video. And my best friend and I, Cade, we were like, what do we do? And my grandma was going to be making cinnamon buns. And she was like, well, why don't you guys just come here and we can film, like, how I make cinnamon buns. And so we did. My mom picked Cade up and we drove out to my grandma's and spent, like, the whole fucking day making cinnamon buns. Like, it is like a get up, it's like 5:30 in the morning and you are baking until like 10 o'clock at night deal. Like, I think I've only like actually partaken in the whole span of it like twice. And it really makes me kind of sad because, like, I mean, I still have that how-to video, but now that my grandma's gone, I wish that I had done it more times with her. But anyways, the funny part of the story is when Cade and I were filming, my dad was texting my mom at the same time. And he was saying something about, like, how he got Chinese food for dinner. And he said a very, very not politically correct word. And my mom repeated it out loud, right beside the camera. And both Cade and I look at her and we're just like... So I had to edit that out of the video. And it sucked because it was an important part. Like, it was, like, the physical act of, like, when you had all the dough sitting in multiple, like, bowls, like, getting them to rise. I was like, Mom, what the fuck? So, that was fun to edit out. I don't think Cade let my mom forget that for, like, 3 years. Like, it was, I don't know what she was thinking saying that on camera. But, yeah, that's my funny Christmas story. And just because, this is another option I have here. Christmas traditions. Okay, so every year, when my mom and I put up the Christmas tree, because my dad's, like, never home for that, he just usually brings up the Christmas tree from the basement, and then he'll just be like, leave us to do our thing. When we put up the Christmas tree, my mom and I have to have the cartoon version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas playing. Our copy of the disc is so old that you flip it to watch Horton Hears a Who. And if you leave it for about 4.5 minutes, like on the title screen, it'll just play again. So depending on how long it takes us to, like, if we're just doing the Christmas tree or, like, we're doing, like, a piece of garland, like, we'll watch it, like, 3 times. But if we're doing, like, everything, How the Grinch Stole Christmas plays about 20 times. So when my mom and I were putting up the Christmas tree this year, I didn't realize I knew this movie as well as I did. I wasn't even paying attention, and I was singing along to the entirety of the movie. Like, the whole, "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," I know all the words. My mom was just, like, staring at me as she's, like, putting the cardinal on top of the Christmas tree, and she's like, can you shut up? Like, I'm trying to enjoy the movie. I'm like, oh, as if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that is my interesting... Oh, sorry, my computer just... Those are my funny things about Christmas, or worse or funny things about Christmas. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you guys for watching this on Christmas. I'm so sorry that I decided to post it today, but for those of you who don't celebrate it, happy holidays. Just, like, happy not being at school time. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.